Yes, sir. What up? Lindy End Zone back in action today for y'all. The second stream today. Happy to keep going the Eagles schedule recon segment on the channel. Today, episode 2 of this Friday is the New York Football Giants going back to the NFC East. We we already took care of the Washington football team with the Big Douglas show. Nice segment there. Now we have to move on to the New York Football Giants. So what's up, everybody? Nate will be in momentarily. His dinner carried into the program airtime, but he was already in here a few hours ago saying, let's go. Jock Talk is in the building as well. What up, man? He's still keeping that name going, Lindy Legend. I like it because we call Luca Legend sometimes if it ain't magic. All right, man. Let's see. Balbi joins. Nate Talk Sports will be here momentarily, but, finally got you two on the channel. Giants fan that likes the Miami Heat, so I'm not alone in terms of having a diverse fandom.
I love my Miami Heat. I'm Kyle Lowry. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's all fine. That's all fine. Well, it's an Eastern Conference team. We don't got to worry about y'all unless we have to play you. And I think we know what happened when last time Dallas played Miami.
We'll see you in the finals. How about
y'all got slaughtered, but
we'll see you in the finals. Let's how about that?
Okay.
That would actually be a good matchup.
Yeah. It was last year too. Big Play Slay in the house. What up? He also goes, the Giants, you suck. Oh, here we go.
Slay.
This is what I've been saying. Every time I do something with the NFC East, it's gonna be. There's no.
It's fine. I'm used to. I'm always on the Eagles communities. Other content creators. So I'm used to it. I'm cool with it. But Slay is probably the most annoying.
Out in enemy territory, man. You're taking them bullets, but Jordy in the house as well. What is going on, man?
What's going on, Jordy's very, very nice.
Yeah, Jordy, a cool kid with them 3 podcasts that he liked to run. BPS also says that you look like a 9-year-old.
You look like a 7-year-old, to be honest with you. Slay.
Y'all two are gonna start already.
Get on some pads, and I'm gonna fold you. I'm gonna legit fold you. I play high school football. I could look like a 9-year-old, but I legit play high school football. I will fold you. So next time I come to New York, I will find you, and you will start running. Thank you.
He goes, of course I'm going to talk my talk. Balbi, you're in enemy territory. Well,
you come on my channel, you're on enemy territory.
Yeah, there you go. It works both ways. Jock Talk saying the NFL screwed up by not letting the Eagles and Giants out week 1.
But do you know why we have the Broncos week 1? Because it's the the 20th anniversary, like the 9/11, and we were playing the what is it called? The Broncos that I don't know. So it has to do something with 9/11. So
that's right.
And 9/11 really means a lot to the city. So I feel like I would love the Giants Eagles, but that game that day did mean a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, even the U.S. Yeah, no doubt. Angel 3 in the house. What's going on? She says hi to everybody.
Man, you got the laughing. I'm getting killed. Oh my god.
BPS also going, Lindy, please tell this man does not look. He looked like he's 9. I didn't even know he was 15 when he told me. I'm like,
Slay, bro. Low key, you look like a 9-year-old as well. And you 14. So, like I said, get on that helmet, get on some pads. I'm going to fold you. I'm going to legit fold you. Bro, I will knock you out. Oh my god, Slay. Stop playing. I will burn you when you're a DB. And then when I'm a DB, I'm going to lock your ass up. So, I don't want to hear it, Slay. I really don't want to hear it. I will absolutely fold you. I will legit fold you.
Man, we got everybody in here cracking up, man. I'll tell you what, but it's like we didn't even get
to Giants Eagles. We're talking about me and Slay. I look like my age, though. My guy, you're 15. How are you in high school? Well, you're about to be in high school. I don't see you on doing no sports. I don't see you not hitting people. Come on now. Slay, I will fold you. And you scared. I know you're scared. Every time I bring it up, you just try to change the subject. I dare you to type in the comments, I will fold you, Balbi. Oh my god. I will legit fold you, my guy. You skinny. You skinny boy.
Well, it looked like the stream can officially get underway here. I'm about to be in a handicap match. I got to deal with two Giants content creators for this one, but we're gonna
Nate's an Eagles fan, so it's okay.
Nate Talk Sports in the house. It is finally together now. Good to have you in here, Nate, after your dinner was taken care of. Cool. Gotta get that grub, but what's going on, sir?
By the way, sorry I was late, but I actually haven't been out. I was shocking. I was like the other day, I was like, I haven't been on this guy's channel in a while, so it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I mean, we'll eventually get that NBA stuff in there because Balbi's Heat fandom's got me intrigued. We got to get some conversation in there, and then the New York Knicks. Y'all allowed us to get Reggie Bullock, so I'm happy about that signing. Because I can't say a lot about it, but you guys are gonna have fun with Reggie. That's the only thing I'm gonna say.
He's nice.
Well, whether that's positive or negative, I mean, I dropped a video on it earlier today, and the only concern I have with Reggie is his production and the amount of minutes that he gets. Like, there's games where he'll have like 35 plus minutes and score only 12 points. Like, depending on where he is in the depth chart, like we got to figure that out, how to make him the most productive. But that's besides the stream. So. What? Well, there's a quick freeze there, but all right.
Oh, Nate's back now.
Yes. BPS goes, if you ever need to drop the link, I'll come on and destroy
you. You are little, Slay. You have skinny arms, my guy. You are skinny.
Listen, bro.
Talking about me being little.
Well, we don't have skinny arms, bro. The skinny arms are amazing, bro. Like, I have skinny arms, so skinny arms.
No, but you could throw 70 miles an hour, so
that's true.
So you have a pass.
Oh man,
this stream has so much tea for no reason.
All right.
Well, Slay's just being a bum in the chat, so
he's being a bum.
Slay, you're the one in the chat. I'm the one on the stream, so you a bum.
Oh, this is
sorry.
This is fun. All right, let's start.
Let's. All right, here we go. Here's how we're gonna get into this, y'all. So, my last stream that I had earlier today, part of the Eagles schedule Recon is week 2 we play the San Francisco 49ers. So I had a good friend on here come on, Philly Foothills, and he came on to talk about. Yeah, he came on to talk about his 49ers, and the first thing I brought up to him was it was the pre-draft situation that he was in with the quarterbacks that it was kind of a tough decision and confusing decision around the NFL on where San Francisco was going to go with that. Were they going to go Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones? Were they going to try and snag Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars? I mean, they were in like a tailspin of a decision between quarterbacks. So no, you guys going into the draft trying to address the needs that you needed to, and then I don't think I got your actual opinions on this, like when it actually happened. But when y'all seen the Eagles and Dallas Cowboys have that exchange, and Dallas allowed Philly to trade up to number 10 and take Devontae Smith. Now, like first reactions, and then we seen the the chat, man, you gotta be kidding. But no, we seen the reaction of Cal Pizzle and other Giants content creators, and they're some of them are kind of snapping out and getting pissed that the Eagles took Devontae Smith, and then everyone's saying like, oh, the Giants were in a panic and took Kadarius Toney in the first round. So I mean, obviously you guys had to have had Devontae Smith on your radar.
Yes,
there's no question. But what we're getting at here.
Lindy, there was actually something. Oh, no, you can go.
It was leaked. Joe Judd said he loved Devontae Smith and he was going to take him at 11. It was leaked for like
week. And also he was there. Yeah, like basically just adding on what Nate said, that if Smith's there, we're taking him.
Yeah, we would have took him.
And also, I want to get to see what Jock Talk said about Giants draft offensive linemen. There were no first round worthy offensive linemen in the
Besides
first round.
Slater.
I mean,
Slater was the one that we were going to stay.
No. Well, at the time, the 20th pick.
Oh, 20th. Oh, I thought you meant like our pick.
Yeah,
but
probably
BPA. If we would have stayed, but okay.
But I mean, Leatherwood was taking. I think that was so high for him.
That was
so.
I
feel like
I was eyeing Darisaw a little bit, and then he just got.
If Elijah Vera Tucker was there, maybe that could have been an option of taking him. But I feel like that it was the right pick to take Tony. We needed that slot receiver because I think Sterling Shepard's gonna go, and I feel like that's his replacement. He's a faster, more shiftier Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard's probably one concussion away of seriously being injured. Like his family wants him to retire.
Yeah.
Wow. That I mean, that is true. And, Sterling still has a lot of, he still has a lot of talent left. I mean,
sure.
Years ago, he was one of those guys for the Giants. And, we seen that you guys tried to make it work with Golden Tate. And just like the Eagles back in 2018, Golden Tate seemed out of place there. He only made a few plays here and there. But what is the expectation at 32, 33 years old for for a guy that's that exerted most of his energy, like playing for Seattle and Detroit and of the likes of those teams. But Castro in the house, Philly podcast. What up, man? Good to see you.
Said I need to do an episode on my channel where I just roast a living hell. You know what? I would love for that to happen. Just me and you just oh man, I would love that.
All right.
He also goes, the Giants are in desperate need of offensive linemen because their starters aren't that good and they don't have depth at the position. Yeah, I mean that's one thing. Reading up on notes, before
we don't have depth at the tackle, we have depth at the guards though.
Yeah, the guards. Yeah, that's like our depth because we have.
Yeah, I mean,
and I feel like our tackles are the best positions on our offensive line.
So I guess it's safe to assume that you guys were ultimately okay at the end of the day with selecting Kadarius Toney when you guys did.
For sure.
Devontae Smith.
He was going to go at 20. He was going to go in the first round. He was going to go.
He was actually going to go to Jacksonville and Green Bay. They were eyeing him. They were actually legit. It came out and they said that they wanted Toney. Jacksonville, the coach really said I was going to take him on an interview. He said I was going to take him. So.
Yeah. You said 24.
So with that said, do you guys feel that Kadarius was your second consideration after Devontae Smith?
I wasn't expecting it. I honestly think he could have fell in the second round. But I feel like that looking back at it and looking at his potential and what he can be and the teams that say that he wanted him, I feel like that was the right pick at 20 because he fits well with our offense. We don't need a guy like Rashad Bateman because we already have our Kenny Galladay, so we don't need a big receiver.
And I'll add on to this. As the guy who was eyeing was Aziz. That was basically every Giants fan was eyeing.
I wanted Aziz at 20, and we traded back in the second round, and we still got Aziz.
Yeah, I was fine with it. Looking back on it, I'm fine with it now.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And and this is a guy in Kadarius Toney who's still flashed for a Florida Gator team that had even though Trevon Grimes went undrafted, he was a promising player. But Kyle Pitts was over there, and then he was still able to make plays with Kyle Trask when he was available, and Kyle was not being targeted. So obviously there's that reason as to where when he got drafted. So so I mean we just talked about offensive line in the midst of the wide receiver position, and reading up on some of the Giants notes, that's another thing that I noticed. Jason Garrett was talking about, and then with him working around players still currently sidelined. Saquon Barkley is still trying to come back. Kyle Rudolph is trying to come back. Kenny Galladay, he has to come back yet. Kadarius Toney is now coming off of the reserve COVID list. So it seems that you guys are a little bit behind the eight ball here. But do you feel that with the preseason coming up, you guys are going to be in okay shape to get your first team guys ready, come week 1 of the regular season.
You want to go first, Balbi?
Oh, wait, sorry. What was the question? I was just absolutely roasting Slay in the chat. Just like sum up what you just said. Sorry, Lindy. I was just absolutely like roasting this man in the chat. Sorry, I just had to. You just keep going at me, and I can't say and I just can't say anything. So, what would you say? Like sum it up like in like a quick question.
So like you guys still have some of your playmakers, off to the sidelines, or they're trying to bounce back from their injuries. And Kadarius Toney is still on, he's coming back off the reserve COVID list, and
he's actually on the field.
Yeah, and I think Kyle Rudolph is dealing with a foot issue, and then Kenny Galladay's got his thing going on.
Should be ready week 1, both of them.
So, and then Saquon is nursing his ACL still. So I mean, how is the first string offense, from a playmaking standpoint like that? Like, how are they shaping up to be on the field week 1? Like, where's their progress at? Like,
I think Saquon will be ready week 3. I think there's been a report saying that Saquon will be ready week 3. And I'm actually fine with that. I don't want him to be in week 1 because, I really don't want to re-injure the man because we gave him his 5th-year option, and I'm assuming he's our franchise player, and we should definitely pay him because he's Saquon Barkley. He's probably one of the best running backs in the NFL right now, skill set wise.
If healthy.
If healthy, you know what I mean? When he's healthy, and his skill set wise, he's better than Derrick Henry.
Ooh.
I'm being real. I'm being real. Skill set wise, not stat wise. Skill set wise.
Okay.
But anyways, I feel like Galladay will be ready week 1. Rudolph will be ready week 1, and I feel like it's fine because we didn't have Saquon for the whole season. I think we did a decent job. I mean, obviously with Saquon Barkley, that elevates our offense, but yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
I've already said this. I think the offense will be good. Kenny G's the guy who I really think needs to come back. Saquon, we can wait on Saquon because we signed so many damn running backs. Like, it was like insane. But we stole Corey Clement, so that was great. But it was basically, I think we'll be fine with Saquon. Kenny G, we need him back week 1 because he's the number 1. We don't want another Darius Slayton situation.
So I mean, and then in terms of, this chat's getting good. This chat's eating up, man. Oh my goodness. But no, I mean, we brought up the offensive line a little bit ago, and us talking through that, and that was another thing that I read on the in some of the progress reports for the Giants. It has been said at some point by Dave Gettleman. He has said that you just have to let the young players play. You guys had to do that with Andrew Thomas and Matt Pert.
Yeah, and we have a ton of depth as well on our team, or just in general.
And the guy we signed on undrafted free agency, he was meant to go in the 5th round. We got him undrafted, and he's been balling in training camp. I've been hearing some good reports about him. So,
bro, Slay, what did I just say? Not stat wise, skill set wise. Slay, do you have ears, my guy? I don't think you got ears, to be honest with you. Like, you might just have to rewind it and see what I clearly said skill set wise. Lindy, am I wrong?
Yeah.
I said not stat wise, skill set wise. Slay, stop being a bum. I swear. Like, you might have to just leave this chat. You might just have to delete YouTube, to be real with you.
God.
You might just have to stick to Twitter full time. But anyways, I don't even want to talk about it. He's a waste of my time, really. So
this is what the NFC East does, man. I'll tell you why.
It's not the NFC East. You're a great Eagles fan. All the other guys are great Eagles fans, but
you saying like big play Slay out?
Slay's just a bum. Like, honestly, he's just a waste of my time. Even Jock Talk said he did say skill set. LOL. Like, Slay, you being slow right now. Like, be honest with you. Like, I don't know what your GPA is, but like,
oh man,
you being slow right now. It might be a 1.5 GPA, but
you go direct with the roasts. Castro, I'll tell you what, I don't know either, man. These two going ham at each other right now, but That's what I'm saying. That's NFC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, bro. I'm usually chill. I'm usually super chill. Like Lindy knows, I'm a very nice guy, very chill.
Yeah, yeah.
But this man Slay, like he's just like a waste of my time, and all he does is talk, and he can't do anything. So I wish I could be in New York right now, just absolutely fold your ass. But Lindy, what were you saying?
No, I mean, oh, Castro says BPS usually so nice too.
Yeah, these two, bro.
I didn't hear you, Balbi. You a Giants fan? Then why the hell are you on this stream? Like it's Eagles versus Giants talk. They're like, what's wasting my damn time, bro? I swear. That's so stupid. So stupid, Slay.
Yeah,
you
somebody
so
got an echo in here. That's right. Yeah, Jock Talk pointed it out. Somebody got an echo.
Is it better now?
Sound like it might be Nate because it wasn't here. It wasn't here when it was just us two, Balbi.
You guys can hear me?
We can hear you. We just hear an echo.
Is there an echo?
You fix it?
Now? Is it better now?
It's faint. Yeah, it's faint. It's faint, but that might work. That might work. I'm looking out for the audience. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking out for the audience. We good, but I mean, yeah, Jason Garrett was talking about it. He's saying, I think we made progress over the course of last year. We had a lot of young guys playing for us who just simply were inexperienced. And I think over the course of the year, you saw them grow up and develop. Again, it's the same thing we talked about with Daniel Jones. If you approach it the right way, you might get your mind right and your spirit right to come out and practice and get better every day. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's one of the biggest question marks right now is, how well the offensive line is going to protect Daniel Jones to be able to hit his playmakers, especially the new ones. I mean, this is probably the most loaded offense that Daniel Jones has had for the Giants since he started.
And you could even throw in his college career as well. He had nothing at Duke.
You went to Duke.
I'm in North Carolina right now, and I watch all the Duke football games. And like they just all of them were butter. Like all the receivers were butter. Like you could honestly just compare them to Slay. To be honest with you, like they're just trash. So, I meant to say I didn't hear you say skill set wise, but thanks for. Yeah, you're welcome for clarifying you because you just slow. Anyways, but I feel like what was I about to say? Daniel Jones should produce. Honestly, like it's about time for him to produce. We gave him the weapons he needed. I feel like if you name on paper, this offense is, other than the offensive line, it's pretty solid, I would say. Jones has Galladay, Shep, Slayton, Tony. You could use John Ross in the rotation, but I feel like it's just going to be a good year for this offense. Definitely better than last year, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of firepower that you're throwing out there, and I just had a.
This man gotta leave. He's gotta leave. Yeah, leave this chat, my boy. Leave this chat. Oh yeah, you gone now. Trolling this 9-year-old. He probably going to bed at 7:45 because he's 6 years old. He's got to go to bed. And the echo's not me because I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear everyone. I'm good. I can hear everyone.
Do you hear an echo, Nate?
No.
Oh, then yeah. But it's okay. It should be fine. If you just lower your volume, it should be fine.
That might be it. That might be it. But then, yeah, I mean, so okay, I did remember my point. So you guys are actually holding Daniel Jones' feet to the fire this year, like this is it, or
yes,
or like is that
it's the do or die.
Is the breaking point for him, or like he has to, like you guys have to maybe look for another quarterback in next year's draft class? I mean, what is that? Is that pretty much what we're saying here? Is that this is Daniel Jones' last chance with this kind of offense?
For sure.
If he sucks, he's out of here. If he does good, he'll stay.
And like this is him going to his third year, and it takes like quarter. I'm not going to compare Josh Allen to Daniel Jones, but Josh Allen had a first 2 rocky starts to his first 2 seasons. So I feel like that, he'd just be like, and Josh Allen has 30 year. Obviously, he had Diggs, which is better than Galladay. he progressed year 3. So I mean, it takes times for players. We don't need to have. I mean, there's not a lot of Lamar Jacksons and Patrick Mahomes of the drafts where they have an instant impact in the league right away. Um, but I feel like that it's about time for Daniel Jones to produce, and I honestly think he will with this offense. So. But if it doesn't, we have plenty of things to back us up with the 2 first-round picks that we have. We have a lot of depth. We have a lot of young guys to trade for. We have Sterling Shepard to trade for easily because he's gonna be his contract's gonna be up soon. So I feel like that we're set, to be honest with you. And also, all of our players at max are like literally all our players for going to 2024. We have no players that are signed ahead of 2024. So. We have a lot of money right now. We could, if we have a terrible season, or if this doesn't work out, this plan, which I think it honestly will, because we have a top 10 defense in the NFL right now. If it doesn't work, we're completely fine because we could definitely rebuild, and the picks can back it up as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good sense of direction that you guys are working with here. I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, this is probably Daniel Jones' last chance, and I mean, it wasn't that great of a start for the Giants. They started off in 2020 with a 1-7 record, and then they finished the season. They something kind of sparks, and then they go 5-3 to complete a year of going 6-10. So I mean, something had to change. Something had to change at some point, and for a quarterback that threw under 15 touchdowns, didn't really do much of anything from an offensive standpoint. And
rookie season, he almost broke the rookie touchdown record.
The rookie touchdown record in his rookie year.
Well, I mean,
in my opinion, he has all the intangibles. He has just mental with him.
It honestly is, and also when he gets sacked, he has to hold on to that football. But I feel like he only had 1 turnover in the last half of his season, and the last half of last year's season, which was Evan Ingram's fault, unfortunately, because he's our Pro Bowl tight end. So and it slipped right in his hands, and it went to the DB, and he picked it off. So Jones definitely cleaned it up his second half of the season with the interceptions, but it's just the fumbles that he's got to get down. And I feel like since he worked on those interceptions, and there's total improvement from his rookie season, I think he could definitely clean up the fumbles. I honestly think he will.
And I'm gonna add on what Balbi did. He had probably one of his best games versus Dallas. That was probably one of his best, cleanest games of the season.
And Lindy, I'm telling you this right now. We needed him to get the job done that week so we could have a chance in the playoffs. But unfortunately, the Eagles sold. But we're not going to talk about that right now. But he did his job.
I think it was going to happen because they benched like everybody. I was like, what the hell? I was like, no chance.
Nate, we just don't talk about that game. I don't think Lindy wants to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So.
The game? Are you talking about a game last year, or
Lindy? You know what game we're talking about?
Okay, so the game that it was Evan Ingram's fault.
No. Week 17. Sunday night.
Okay. Oh, so that we quote unquote that we tanked that game, and okay, all right.
I mean, it was kind of obvious you did tank that game.
I see where you're going. It
was your coach. I think it wasn't Jalen wanted to play. I think it was your coach.
It was the owner.
Wow.
Was it the owner?
It was the coach.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I mean, they decided last minute that they wanted to see Nate Sudfeld and the quote unquote tank and everything, and
boom.
Yeah, we could have won that game. We could have won.
To be honest with you, I think Nate Sudfeld.
I was really impressed by your defense. That defense hold you guys into that game.
I know your defense is great that game.
Oh, the Washington game, yeah.
Yeah, you guys hold them.
They were pretty well. They were pretty good.
I honestly think if you guys tried, you would have won that game.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the offense didn't look. The offense
for real. He was. You could see
in your guys' favors as well. We got Kadarius Toney. You guys got Devontae Smith. So
yeah.
Hey Nate, we got a first. Don't forget about that first.
So it works
we got
in
a
both
first
teams'
and
favors.
Smith.
Yeah.
So
It worked in both teams' favors.
So I mean, I guess we'll keep this going here with the we're already 30 minutes. We're already 30 minutes into the stream, and I think 15 of that was banter between two people specifically.
don't even bring up his name. He's not even worthy enough to bring up his name. Don't even do it. Don't even do it.
Well, I don't think he's here
such
anymore,
a bum.
so.
He's such a bum that you don't even have to bring up his name. Just don't do it, Lindy.
Oh man.
Just don't do it. I'm glad he's not here right now, because that kid just gets on my nerves. Like, I will absolutely fold him, bro. If I see him and he got pads on and a helmet, oh my god, he better get folded. Oh my god, it's not even funny.
I'll tell you what, childhood was hilarious, man. Oh man, that's years behind me, but no, that's hilarious. So half hour
I
in,
will slap him. Oh my, I'll just slap him in the face.
We're still pretty built up right now. So obviously with this being Eagles Recon, got to find out a little bit more on how the Giants are doing, and we'll get into the nitty gritty drama stuff in a second. But earlier you brought up about Azeez Ojulari, and Patrick Graham was one of the top guys to actually praise him and saying that second round pick that you guys were worried that you weren't going to get, but he actually fell down to you in the second round. You still got him.
And we traded back in the second round as well.
Yeah. So Patrick Graham has praised him lately, talking that he's a diligent worker who is taking it all in right now in the classroom. He is learning a slightly different position than he played in college. But once they put on the pads, he says that he knows how to play football. He's physical. He's hard to move, plays with his hands. I'm excited to keep working with him. So, outside of Kadarius Toney, this was probably the next pick for you guys that you were probably elated about getting Azeez Ojulari and what he means as a whole for that Giants defense, where he's a pretty he could be a pretty legitimate partner next to a guy that you guys were able to keep in Blake Martinez.
Yes.
Oh, he'll be great for him.
I
want to bring up just 1 point. Oh, sorry, Nate.
I was just gonna say the defense is gonna be. I think Tay will be next to Blake as the linebackers, and then his job will just be blitzing. That's what we're gonna only use Azeez for, just the blitz.
Pay-per-view deathmatch, big play savers, Balbi. Oh my god, that's funny.
It's a great pay-per-view match.
I would honestly it would honestly be worth like $58 per view. Like, I would honestly put up $60. Like, it's so worthy. But we draft the Giants lately. We've been drafting players from Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia, because those are winning organizations, and they have they're most known for winning. They're most known for having like good mentality, like you know what I mean, like great coaching staff. And our coaching staff is linked with all those college teams. So I feel like we're drafting the right guys. We're not drafting guys like Micah Parsons that is not like. I think we should have drafted him, but the fact that his character issues is so bad, we didn't draft him, and I feel like Judge didn't tolerate that. Because we definitely went to his pro day. Judge probably talked to him. Saquon was teammates with him at the time, so Saquon definitely has a firsthand, like you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I mean, he's there. I mean, Saquon was there as his teammate. So, I feel like that I feel like we should have taken Micah Parsons. If we took Micah Parsons, though, oh man, next to Blake, jeez. But Azeez Ojulari is a great pick as well, and I'm very happy with it. And I feel like he'll put maybe 6 sacks.
Yeah, I think at least 5. At least 5.
So,
I'll
be doing it for charity. Oh, for sure, I'll do it for charity.
Because up the middle we'll have Leonard as the defensive tackle, which is a monster. And then we have Dex, and then Shelton. That's a good front three.
Jordy says the problem with some big schools is like Bama. There could be one of many reasons a prospect's better than they are. I mean that is true, but they're in a winning program, and that's what we're trying to turn. We're trying to turn the table, and we're just trying to be a winning organization. And those are guys that are from it. And our coaching staff is from Bama, and yes. I mean Joe Judge. I mean he was Alabama, and he was he was a coach at the Patriots. You know what I mean? So he's used to winning. So I see what you're saying, Jordy, but like they just do things different over there. To be
And
honest
I'm
with you.
with this Balbi too. The linebackers coach who was at Georgia, he coached Azeez Ojulari. So
Yep.
that's gonna be he has a similar correlation with that. And we have Zoe, who was at Georgia. So we
And
got a lot of
Andrew Thomas
Georgia.
was
We got a lot of Georgia
very
players.
good friends with. Actually, they were in the same
Yeah,
dorm.
Andrew Thomas and
Andrew
Aziz.
Thomas and Azeez Ojulari. So I love how they're both New York Giants. So
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost with the Z's, it's like the same philosophy that the Eagles are doing right now, and they bring over Jonathan Gann to be the defensive coordinator now. He has the experience from the Minnesota Vikings, and they end up bringing over the young linebackers coach and Nick Rouse, who already has continuity with a free agent that we picked up and Eric Wilson from the Minnesota Vikings. So there's already that connection there, and that's very similar to what Azeez Ojulari is going through. And that's that's a quality that that you would want for your football team, is to to have that familiarity between the players and the coaching staff, and it's easier to build chemistry and have everybody on the same page. Plus, with the Eagles learning a new defense, you got Eric Wilson there, you got Anthony Harris there, you got two staples in the defense that that can carry the rest of these guys along. So it's easier for them to figure out the schematics and everything on what they're supposed to run on a weekly basis based on the matchup. And I guess the last thing we'll get into here. We'll touch on the secondary now for the Giants. So according to this progress report, it talks about the secondary can be as good as it wants to be, quote, as long as they don't screw it up. Now I'm imagining you guys probably know what Patrick Graham is talking about here. It says much of the talk has been about their secondary, which returned its core in addition to adding Adoree Jackson, your draft picks, and Rodarius Williams and Aaron Robinson.
Jeez, you did your research.
So Patrick Graham decided to, address, a couple of those conversations. He says the secondary can be as good as they want, as long as they don't screw it up. So that's how I see it. My job is to put them in the right position to make plays. We've got guys who have been playmakers in the past. I'll tell you this: they're working hard, so they're doing that part of it. They're communicating with the coaching staff, your defensive backs coach, the defensive assistant. They're doing the necessary to come along. He says those guys do a great job of coaching them and building their awareness, whether it's situational or personnel driven. With that information, I think the sky's the limit, but we're going to take it day by day and just keep putting in that work. So I mean, and then now, after Patrick Graham has talked about that, reading the quotations, and I'll throw it off to you guys. So how confident are you guys in the secondary? Keeping its consistent pace from the previous season, and adding guys like James Bradbury and other free agents, and then Adoree Jackson comes over. So how smooth of a transition do you think it's going to be from 2020 to 2021?
Do you want to go first, Balbi?
Sure. I feel like that it would be a very smooth transition. I mean, I feel like we will have at least the same production as we had last year, because we just added so many pieces to that secondary, especially the cornerback position. I feel like we'll just, and even I'll throw in Xavier McKinney in there because he wasn't there for most of the season. I mean, he really only played 2 full games, right, Nate?
It was too full, but he played most of his good games versus the doubt. He played the best game.
Yep, he played the best game of doubt. He should have had 2 picks, but it got called back. I forgot what the call was, but he should have had 2. No, if he dropped it, that's what it was. He dropped it.
No, that was Love. Love dropped that. He had the personal call thing. That was Love. Love was the drop. He had the personal. It was something personal, foul, and whatever it was.
Okay, but yeah, he should have had 2 picks against the Cowboys. But I'm just happy for the secondary, honestly, because we got Adoree Jackson. We paid him a little. You could say we paid him a little too much because he's a little injury prone. But I feel like that he deserves it because he's gonna be a very good second corner. Because I would put James Bradbury at probably the sixth best corner in the NFL. Um, I mean, he's very good, Lindy.
He's locked up most of the
You
good receivers at Carolina too. He locked up a lot of good receivers.
you got him
Lindy.
better than Xavier Howard?
Oh, Xavier Howard's definitely better. I gotta say,
Xavier Howard's better.
Because there
than
there was
him.
this what was this rank that I
I
seen?
mean,
It was-
sixth is kind of six,
Six or
seven, maybe.
Six or
Bradbury?
seven.
I want to say it was like Madden or something or Pro Football Focus. I can't remember, but they graded the top 10 corners, and I seen that they actually had James Bradbury ahead of Xavier Howard. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Well, Lindy,
I don't see it.
he did lock up every receiver he went against this year.
I mean,
So-
Xavier Howard's a guy that just recorded last season like 10 interceptions.
Well,
like,
then again,
dude,
James Bradbury isn't a ball hawk cornerback.
He's usually just a guy who just
he's a
locks up good
deflection
receivers.
quarterback, and yeah, just locks him up. So I feel like that James Bradbury is not the flashy corner like the ball hawks like Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey. But I don't blame PFF for ranking him higher. I would put Xavier Howard higher than James Bradbury, but I don't blame him for ranking them higher because, James Bradbury is just not the flashy corner. So, unless if you watch the games, you'll know that James Bradbury is probably the sixth best corner in the NFL. But I feel like we'll have a really good secondary. I would say top 5, to be honest with you.
And also, I have to agree on Balbi with this one too, because he locked up DK. Like DK couldn't. At one point, he had like one catch. He had an insane versus DK. He locked up DK like the whole game, and he was.
Slay big play Slay kind of sold against DK, but wait.
But it was honestly just it was really surprising because I thought he was gonna take like a couple of years getting used to the new defense, but he went in there and did great. His first week he came on it. He came and locked up the number one, and it was great to see because now we have a number one. So
and yeah, Lindy, I feel like that. Like I think Nate mentioned this before, but when he was with Carolina, he was first for the 6 games in the division games, he was going against top 10, top 5 receivers in the NFL with Mike Evans, Julio Jones, and you could even throw in Curtis Samuel in there. Oh no, wait, he's on the Panthers. My fault. What's the other guy? Who else?
I think Curtis Samuel went to.
He's on Washington. Curtis Samuel's on Washington.
Yeah, he went to Washington.
Yeah. We're talking about because he was on Carolina for like the last.
Who else is in that division? Mike Evans, Julio Jones, and then there's another guy.
Michael Thomas. That's Thomas.
Michael Thomas. That's
the Saints.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas.
So, I mean, James Bradbury was unfortunately thrown in his rookie season because the Panthers don't have corners. Well, they know how to draft corners, but they always leave. But I feel like that James Bradbury got used to it because he was 4 years in Carolina. That's what I'm thinking, Nate, right?
Yeah, it was 4. Yeah, he came off the 4.
So he's used to going against really good receivers. So I think we're gonna have a really good secondary this year, to be honest with you.
Well, at least Carolina got J.C. Horn this year, so.
Oh, yes, great pick.
Yeah, I mean, still kind of mad. I mean, I'm still kind of mad about that because both corners went back to back. Surtain goes to Denver right at 9, and then the Panthers took J.C. Horn at 8, and I actually wanted them. I actually wanted to give them a trade package with Zach Ertz in it because they could. Carolina could use a tight end, and we could have moved up and grabbed one of those guys, but that's not here nor there because we arguably have the best wide receiver out of college football now, Devontae Smith. That you guys got to figure out who is going to cover. Come game day, is it going to be Bradbury? Like who's Dory Jackson? Who's it?
They're going to be Bradbury. They're going to be Bradbury.
Well, I mean, we'll see. So I mean, and then I guess so. After that, I mean, we took I think we took care of most of the position groups for the Giants and got your guys' opinions on the background of what's going on everywhere. We addressed the offense with the receivers and running backs. We checked on the offensive line, went to the defense, and talked about the linebackers and whatnot. So yeah, Jock, I know I got you. If Carolina didn't take Horn, we don't get Devontae Smith. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I mean, no. Now we got the recon done for the Giants, so now I guess the shoe is going to go on the other foot. So, being that we're NFC East rivals in here, and the Giants are obviously pissed at us for quote unquote tanking and them missing out, and on maybe a playoff berth or what have you. So seems like Joe Judge and company is going to be out there to get vengeance, and they're already they're already taking their anger out at their own camps, and Corey Clement gets almost knocked out cold, and a
lit
whole
up.
fire erupts, and Joe Judge is having all the guys run laps, and up to 3 players have retired already, and it looks like such a mess. Joe Judge is having a fun time. He's like, "Oh, this is turning me on and everything." Like dude, like what is going on over there? Settle down or something. But I mean, do you guys have any idea like what? Are we?
If you don't mind, I have to put on what Michael Irvin said about the fight, and he sums it up very well. If you want me to put it on, yeah, I can. If you want, I mean, he just talks about it. I mean, if you want, I mean, I could just sum it up right now. It's like a minute, but say that one more time, Lindy.
Is it a sound bit?
Yeah, it's just sound.
Okay.
I'll just put on. I'll just sum it up. Whatever. Basically, it's like I feel like that the Giants are like ready to hit. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like it was just a total misunderstanding as well. Like, even though it was a late hit, that happens in practice, and that was not necessary for Evan Ingram to push him down like that, because maybe what was it? Who got the hit? Was it Jabril?
Jabril hit Clement.
Maybe he didn't hear the whistle. You know what I mean? But
well, he is an ex-Eagles player, so I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But.
I mean, you never know. But but I think it's a total misunderstanding, and then Evan Ingram got into it, then Logan Ryan came in, and then everyone just came in, and then Daniel Jones actually got into it, and he was trying to break up the fight. He was not trying to throw hands. I mean, yeah. I mean, just look at him. He
would have got knocked out.
I don't think he can fight, but and then he ended up actually on the bottom of the pile. I think it was for like a second or two, but the media obviously exaggerated it, and he got picked up by Danny Shelton, which is our backup defensive tackle. He used to be a former Lion. And that was that. And then Joe Judge was livid. He made him run laps, sprints for 10 minutes straight, which is absolutely wild. I feel like that's the right thing to do, to be honest with you, so that never happens again. But the funny thing was, after practice in the locker room,
they were smiling,
all the coaching staff and all the players were laughing about it, smiling about the fight. You know what I mean? They're all guys again. So that shows me that these players had their backs for each other. So.
And what's his name? And after that, Logan Ryan had the interview. He was like, "Yeah, me and Evan had a talk. We were all good and stuff." So that was good. It was it's a misunderstanding.
It was a total misunderstanding, and I feel like that the first day of pads we had a fight, and that shows that we're ready.
These reporters, man, they made it look so bad.
Yeah. So is that to say that the players who retired, was it a means of, if you can't stand the heat?
Oh no, they said Todd Davis said he just didn't fit the role what they were doing. That was basically and then Joe Looney and those guys are like 30 something, so it was really just those guys just wanted to retire.
Well, I feel like it's like, you on our boat or not? So we're gonna do our own thing. One player's not gonna change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we can easily sign guards. Like, it's not hard to find like a good, decent guard.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, all right. We'll take. No. Well, I guess we'll take your word for it. We'll take your word for it. Well, with that said, let's put the shoe on the other foot here. We're already 50 minutes in. Still got up anywhere from 1 to 4 people in the chat right now. The live streams are pretty busy tonight. For the Eagles. So obviously, traffic is going to be a bit diverse. People are going to watch more than one stream maybe and mute the other. But all right, so I mean, obviously, this being a recon of the Giants, I'm sure that you guys are doing your work on the rest of the NFC East and seeing how teams are looking so far, and so far so good for the Eagles outside of some injury issues that we're dealing with, some an offensive lineman, and then we're waiting for Devontae Smith to get back after an MCL sprain, and we got some guys on the rebound right now. So I
have one question for you.
Go ahead.
Deshaun Watson.
Do I want him?
Well, what do you think of him? Yeah.
No, I don't want him. Not at this magnitude right now. No. I mean, the allegations are one thing, and it's pretty bad. And you can't compare the Michael Vick situation to the Deshaun Watson situation. One, Michael Vick at that time, he already served in jail for the dogfight stuff and everything. But now this is different, even though these are accusations. But it's 25 different women coming out against Deshaun now.
25.
People are arguing about the idea that this may be inflated, and a lot of this seems so skeptical and and everything, but it is affecting him, and he's been at practice sometimes, and then he missed practice the last 2 days. Like what kind of situation is really going on there? And even if we exactly by what Jock is saying in the chat, where there's smoke there is fire. So I don't think an organization like us is in a position to do this, for one. Two, that would then show that the Jalen Hurts pick was a waste of time. You did all this already up to this point so far, to make Jalen Hurts a better quarterback. So,
is it true that the Eagles are pursuing Deshaun Watson? Because I've seen some little buzz around it.
Because there's been talks of it. There's been talks of it saying that the rumors are heating up and whatnot. But some people have actually come out and said that that's not true at all. So I'm not. I take everything with a grain of salt in that regard. For one, two. If the Eagles decide to trade for Deshaun Watson, it's not going to be a trade for this year. He's not going to play this year. You're banking on that he's going to be ready, for 2022. Best case scenario, he's going to be ready for next year. So you're really going, after all of the draft revenue that the front office has built up over the course of the last couple of years, you mean to tell me that you're going to give that away just for an unknown of whether Deshaun Watson is going to be okay after these allegations? I don't see it happening, for one. Two, it would also render it a waste of time, because the Eagles have already invested in the idea of getting players around Jalen Hurts that, players or coaches that Jalen Hurts knows and is comfortable with. I mean, Devontae Smith was the perfect pick for Jalen Hurts. I mean, let's be real with that. Yeah, they were teammates at one point in Alabama. He's thrown to him in college. So, outside of him leaving Oklahoma, they disconnected there, but now they're reconnecting in the NFL. Like, who would have thought? You can only imagine, them thinking
what is
their mind, to go from Alabama and now they're teammates in the NFL. Just think about that for a second. They're going to want to light the NFL up, like those two as a tandem. No, you got that. His quarterback coach, Brian Johnson, has known him since childhood. The offensive coordinator from the Florida Gators, he comes over. He's now Jalen Hurts' quarterback coach. So there's I mean, there is a long time relationship there. Brian knows his father through coaching high school and being with him through there. He's known Jalen Hurts since he was 6 years old. Like there's a lot of deep connections here that the Eagles decided to go in that direction, and it had to have been for this specific reason, and in wanting to put Jalen Hurts in a position where, not only is he going to be the number one quarterback, but you just got to do your job when you're creating this kind of investment. So as far as Deshaun Watson goes, I don't see it at all. I mean, I wouldn't do it. You made your bed already with picking Jalen Hurts last year when Carson Wentz was still your franchise quarterback. Now you got to sleep in it. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't want Deshaun Watson to this point.
Okay, Jock Talk, thank you. But yeah, Lindy, you pretty much were on the money at what you just said. But it's such a interesting situation.
Yeah, it is.
What if you guys like absolutely just trade him like right now and just Jalen Hurts is gone, Devontae's gone, and then 1 first is gone. Imagine that. Oh.
Well, really, you're getting rid of almost all of your draft capital. You're getting rid of like arguably the top piece in your offense in Devontae Smith, and that's a mouthful to say because he is a rookie, but receivers don't just win the Heisman for nothing in college. So I mean, if you dump Jalen and he goes to Houston, and if you dump Devontae, he goes to Houston. Yeah, I mean, would the situation be decent for Jalen Hurts in Houston? Probably, because he's from Texas. But all in all, if you were like I said, if you were to make this kind of trade, you don't know the kind of suspension that's going to be looming for Deshaun. This doesn't put you in a win now situation. You're just basically throwing in the towel for another season until Deshaun is even eligible to play. Like there's no information stating that he's going to be in that regard up to this point. So yeah, man, I'm all in. I'm all in for Jalen Hurts. I want to see him succeed. Like I said, the Eagles made this decision last year when they really didn't need a quarterback, but now with everything going on with Carson Wentz, the pick doesn't look as bad now as it used to, because Carson again gets another foot injury. He's out for 5 to 12 weeks because supposedly this foot injury has been bothering him since high school, and all of a sudden it's starting to come to light. So it just makes the Jalen Hurts pick better and better.
They called it.
I guess so. I guess so to this point. So, I mean, with Jalen Hurts still topic of discussion here. I mean, we've joked with each other back and forth, like the Giants fans and Eagles fans have joked back and forth about this, and one side is trying to say Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts, and then the latter is saying the opposite. So I mean, here we go with this conversation all over again. I mean,
oh man,
for it to be this early, yeah, it sounds a little bit ridiculous, but Jalen is improving every single day at practice and at camp. He's getting more accurate. He's getting comfortable in the system. It works for what he does from a skill set perspective. So I'm guessing that now this is just me, like, maybe it's going to come to a point where the possibility of Jalen Hurts being better than Daniel Jones on paper could become a reality, but it seems to most Giants fans that that's just not going to happen because Jalen Hurts went 1-3 in his first 4 games, and he played like garbage and all this sort of thing. Well, it's easy to say that when you don't add context to it. I mean, this was a quarterback that was brought into a very awkward situation. For one, the direction that they took with Jalen Hurts was when trying to turn him into a Taysom Hill type of gadget quarterback and leave him on the field for these weird trick plays where you had 2 quarterbacks and one out there was like a blocker, down the sideline. Like, what are you guys doing? So now you come into this year after he plays those 4 games. And yeah, he looked competitive, but at the time when we faced Dallas, it was easy to figure him out because of him being limited, not only from an experience standpoint, but a system standpoint in the offense. Like, that offense was not built for Jalen Hurts last year. It was built for Carson Wentz, and Carson imploded under his own terms and some external factors, whatever you want to call it. He's not here anymore. It's not the here nor there. So with that said, being that this system is now built for Jalen Hurts, maybe there's a case to be made that Jalen is going to outperform Daniel Jones this year. Is it a stretch for some Giants fans? Probably, because they think that they have a better offensive supporting cast than the Eagles do. But maybe that might not be the case. I think it's pretty even from a personnel standpoint. I mean, our receivers are a little bit unproven. There's a lot of second-year guys in there. There's undrafted guys in there. I mean, Devontae Smith is, arguably leading the way as the 10th pick in the draft, and he's still a rookie. So Jalen Reagor needs to have a come up, and Quez Watkins, Greg Ward, and then at the same time, we don't know if some of these guys are going to still be here because roster cuts haven't showed up yet. So, I mean, with that said, man, let's see, like, the honest opinion from Giants fans on what y'all think Jalen Hurts can offer as an NFL quarterback.
Nate, do you want to go first? Yeah, I'll go. I'll go.
All right, I'll go.
Oh, you said you'll. Oh, wait, I'm confused.
No. I know. I said you.
Oh, okay. The athleticism is crazy. He's definitely the modern day quarterback. I feel like that he has great potential. It's just 4 games cannot tell me what he can become. Daniel Jones' first 4 games, amazing. He played amazing. And then look what happened now. He's like back to being unproven. So, it's like I think he very well could be good. It's just the arm. He's got to work on it, and he's got plenty of time to do that. So, I think he has great potential in this league. Philly's really built for the future with their picks and the young duo with Smith and Hurts. So, and they have a great offensive line, great running back with Miles Sanders. So the pieces are around him. It's just that it's unproven, other than the offensive line and Miles Sanders. So, if everything works out and it gets everything together, Philly could be dangerous. If Jalen Hurts becomes a legit quarterback, I just feel like that his athleticism is really himself, but if he can definitely work on that arm because he's young, and that's pretty much it.
What you got, Nate?
What I'm gonna say is this: I've said his talent is amazing. He has great talent. Like, I gotta admit, his talent is great. He has great talent. Always what I say the problem with him is just he makes some stupid mistakes. It's literally some mistakes that he makes, or like Eagles fans every time, like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he throwing it to this person when that guy's wide open? It's just that with me. It's just, if he can just improve that and improve his turnovers just like Daniel Jones did, if he does. But I think if they both, I think let's say both of them, if they both improve, they're going to both be really good quarterbacks. They both have great talent and great intangibles. So that's really what I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge a guy off of a sample size of only 4 games, and we understand this. And Jalen Hurts was not in a position to succeed. It was a little bit different for Daniel Jones. Y'all picked him in I think he was like a top 10 pick or top 5 pick. He was the direction going forward, whereas Jalen gets taken in the second round. Some people thought he was a reach there. And, we had to go through that. And Carson was the number one quarterback in that, in that sense. And, and at the same time, for people to get on Jalen Hurts back about the mistakes that he's made, he was a rookie. He was a rookie that only played 4 full games. And like I said, this was an offense built around Carson, even though at times it was makeshift and it didn't make sense. And, other factors, the defense being, piss poor at times. But all in all, you have to have that kind of room for mistakes to be made. And I feel that, it goes a little bit underrated at times what Jalen Hurts was able to accomplish in his college career. And yeah, he had to battle at times for, quarterback snaps with Tua at Alabama. But, all in all, it had to be where he goes to Oklahoma. And he ends up being a runner-up to the Heisman in his college class. So, I mean, we're working with a pretty good quarterback here, and I think some things go a little bit unnoticed, but at the end of the day. Yeah, it's the sample size is what's killing him right now. But all he can do from a professional standpoint is continue to put it behind him, and then just keep building on the continuity of the players that we already have. So, well, now that Balbi's back, he brought up about the how good the offensive line is, and you guys like Miles Sanders, and but. The tight end position, that went unnoticed. So I mean, Dallas Goedert, I think Dallas Goedert's proven. I think Zach Ertz is proven.
Oh, I forgot about the tight end position. That's absolutely my fault. Dallas Goedert is so good, so good. I mean, Dallas Goedert's great, but it's just I'm just saying as your offense, like the receiver position, the quarterback position, that's one of the most. That's up there and the most important.
Well, yeah, the quarterback makes everything. Yeah,
and it's unproven, so I think it has a lot of potential, but there's a very good chance that it can go well, but as well as a bad. So I think it could go well, to be honest with you. But Danny Dimes and the New York Giants. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Goodness, here we go again. Oh, but
I mean, Saquon, we got Galladay, we got Rudolph, but we don't got no offensive line though. So
yeah, we got Miles Sanders, we got Devontae Smith, and Zach Ertz.
We could break down by position. We could break down every position going against Philly and New York.
Well, we're still going here at the moment anyway because we didn't hit the defensive side of the ball and.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. Oh yeah.
So for the longest time, before we get to the secondary, defensive line has always been one of our strong suits, and
sure. That's in the division.
With Jim Schwartz not being here, or as I called him, Jim Shorts, because I wasn't a fan of him as a defensive coordinator. He always had a priority on the defensive line and the defensive line only. To where that it was all about them getting pressure. The secondary would get abused the game.
Wait, Lindy, I didn't mean to stop you. Look what Jock said in the chat. I'm done. I'm just done. I can't.
Will have a better year than Saquon.
Lindy, do you really believe that?
It's going to be close. I'll tell you that it's going to be close. And
Miles Sanders is good, but he's not that good.
He's not
Saquon good.
They're going by stats.
You mean to tell me that the work ethic is not there, and from
it's there, but we're talking about Saquon Barkley here. He a home run.
I'm talking about his
running back.
Teammate.
Imagine this: Saquon Barkley on your offensive line.
Now is he good? Now is he going to choose going between the gap, or is he just going to cut it outside all the time?
He's
Miles
Saquon
Sanders
Barkley. He can do both. He can do both.
Miles Sanders can do both. I mean, he's had.
But who's better? Who's better at doing both though?
Well, how many?
I would say Saquon's a better receiving back. I would say he's a better rusher. He's a better cutter. He's a better power back than him. I love Miles Sanders, Lindy, but he not no Saquon.
I think it's close. I think it's closer than you think, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is a player that had 3.
Lindy, all bias aside, Saquon.
And I mean, you know, if Miles can clean up his issues right now in camp, Miles is Miles, and I think they're more equally matched than one being a lot better than the other.
Saquon is older. Saquon's young.
I think they're pretty. I think they can be pretty evenly matched. Yeah, Saquon has the flash of being able to look like who was it? Barry Sanders. He has the flash to be able to do that, but where Miles has a little bit more of a, you know, like a pinball effect to him, where, you know, people either bounce off him because he's just making the right cut at the right time, or he has a nasty stiff arm to his game. But last year, if I recall correctly, he had the most rushing touchdowns of more than 70 yards. So I think that would have been more than Saquon, but that's not the here nor there. I'll just point that out. I think overall, if Saquon was healthy, he still wouldn't have had as many home run rushing touchdowns as Miles. Miles was, and this is the problem I had with how well Miles was last year. Miles was pretty damn good. This is a guy that averaged 5.2 a carry last year, around there, like 4.5 to 5.2 yards a carry. This was with an offensive line that went through 14 different lineups in 16 games. Can you imagine what a healthy offensive line was?
Speaking of that offensive line, though, we don't have an offensive line, and Saquon's definitely putting up better numbers than Miles Sanders. Lindy, all bias aside, Saquon Barkley can do great things. Like, I feel like these NFL fans are forgetting what Saquon did his rookie season. Even his second season as well, he broke 1,000 yards and he missed 5 games.
Well, Miles, his rookie year in 19 had about 1,400 all-purpose yards. Did a little bit of everything.
All-purpose.
Saquon had 2,000.
Saquon had 2,000 all-purpose yards.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, Saquon was your entire offense.
Yeah, that's true.
Year. So
that is true. But since he's numbers. Since he's in our entire offense, that puts a target on his back. I mean, that's all the defense has to worry about is Saquon Barkley. And with the trash offensive line, and Saquon put up that numbers.
I don't know. I'm not going to say Saquon's way better than Miles. Yeah. Miles is pretty damn close to him.
I like Miles Sanders.
I would say Saquon's better, but I feel like you're thinking it's too close. I want to say it's pretty close. I really wouldn't.
It's pretty close, and people, you know, like my issue with Giants fans is that they'll say Saquon Barkley is light years better than Miles Sanders. I'm like, no, come on, cut the cap there. Like the two have.
I don't want to say light years, but he's definitely better than him.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close. And yeah, and like Jock Talk said, Doug Peterson just flat out hated running the ball. I mean, Miles was so underutilized last year, and you know, and not so much in 2020 because his rookie year he pretty much exploded on the scene. But you know, in a year where he was underutilized and the offensive line went through the issues that it did, he still averaged almost 5 yards a carry. I mean, you know, it's like these are numbers that you can't they're numbers that you can't ignore. But you know, in terms of my issues with Miles is that he just needs to have better hands for one. But outside of that, it's also based on who the quarterback is. Like, you know, there was a lot of cases where Carson would not hit Miles in stride, or he would just flat out drop a pass because it was either too low, but you still have to catch it. But Miles does have a fumbling issue. So those are the elements to me that really get in the way of him being in closer contest to Saquon Barkley, but in my opinion, they're a lot closer than people make them out to be. In terms of the gap. So,
Lindy, I did share my screen. I want to go over this with you. I want to see what you think about it. I want to see the backs that are ahead of Sanders. To be honest with you, I just want to see it because I know there's a back better than Sanders. Okay, Derek Henry at 1 for sure. Dalvin Cook at 2. I don't like that. Where's Saquon?
So that's C-Mac.
I would put Saquon at 5. Yeah, I would not put Aaron Jones over Saquon. I really would not.
Saquon over who right now?
Jones.
That's close, but okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
that's close, but I'll give you that. That's fine.
Chris Carson, I would say he's better than Miles Sanders.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Josh Jacobs.
No,
I would say.
No, a lot of these are just I don't know. Kareem Hunt's
Zeke.
not the same player. Austin Eckler, no. Zeke, that's fine. David Montgomery, no.
No. Mixon's probably better. I think Mixon's better. I would take Mixon.
No, not Joe. No, I'm not taking Joe Mixon over Miles. Antonio Gibson, no.
All bias aside, though.
No, Miles.
Are you all bias aside? I mean, because they have Miles Sanders at 19, which I would put him at 15.
19 for Miles is way too low. That's way too low.
I would put him at 15, maybe 13.
I think
Miles should belong. Yeah, Miles should belong, and right now he should be top 15. So I would put Miles at 13.
I'll put him at 14 maybe, but like this is a decent gap, but till Saquon Barkley. I mean, if you put Saquon at 5 and you compare it to 14, I would say that's
pretty. No, I'm putting Miles at 13. I'm putting Miles at 13.
Still, if he's at 13, that's 8 running backs ahead of him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know what you mean. Miles Sanders is a great running back. I totally agree. But
that's 13 to 7 is 6 spots. That's not that far of a gap. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you made it seem like it was close.
It's not that no, not very close. I'm saying it's closer than people think. Like there's not that far of a gap. Saquon still being top 10, I'm fine with, because
I'm putting Saquon at 5. I just have to. Like
it's closer than people think. Miles just needs to get it together from a consistency standpoint. Then he's going to be like a 3-down running back. Like he has the capability of doing that, and so does Saquon. But when people talk about like, oh, it's such a huge gap and Saquon's light years better than Miles Sanders, no, just stop the cap there. It's closer than people think. That's just my thing. Now,
I totally agree with you. You put him either at 13 or 14. I would honestly put.
I would say 13. 13's fair, right now.
I mean, it's 13 to 15. It's between them. It's between there. You can't just put him at one spot.
Yeah, I would throw him at 13, and
I would say he's even with Gibson. I would say he's even with Gibson right now. To be honest, I like Gibson. Gibson's nice.
Yeah. I don't know. It's only his third year. It's only Miles' third year.
I'm not the biggest Antonio Gibson guy.
You're not?
Yeah, I still got
shut him down like every time we verse him.
Well, because we're the New York Giants and we're Washington's daddy. So, Lindy, we've been beating Washington. You want me to? It's like you guys and us.
I got no beef. I got no beef involved with you and Washington. I got nothing to do with that. Like you guys do you, but that's why I said no comment. So receiver position, obviously you guys have the advantage there at the receiver position, and working with Kenny Galladay, and so long as Kenny stays healthy, that's going to be the biggest thing. Exactly, Anton. People are sleeping on Miles.
I'm not sleeping on Miles.
Yeah. Miles at 19 is just ludicrous. So just throwing it out, just outside number 20. No,
Oh, I like Taylor. I like Taylor. Oh, I forgot about Taylor. Jonathan Taylor for the Colts.
No, Miles is better than Jonathan Taylor.
Balbi, the offensive line.
It's close. It's close.
Miles is no. That list I got Miles at 13, and that's being fair. That's being realistic.
Do you think he's better than James Robinson?
Who?
James Robinson.
James Robinson.
The undrafted guy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
People are going. Yeah. The media hates the Eagles. I know they do, Jock. I know.
They hate the Giants. They probably hate the Giants more.
Our media, our reporters suck. Like we have the worst reporters.
So I mean, all right.
Do you want to go? Do you want to do a position by position comparison? Or?
All right. Well, we're on to receiving corps right now since since we took care of the running back spot, since it was primarily focused on Miles and Saquon Barkley. Even though I think our depth at running back is better than the Giants, but that's not the here nor there. Jordan Howard is back, Kerryon Johnson, Boston Scott,
Devontae Booker, the Giants stealing reps from Josh Jacobs.
Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell, another Memphis product. You guys just got done talking about Antonio Gibson. Gainwell is pretty damn good. So I mean, there's running back for us is a pretty tight competition. So I mean,
I don't know if you've looked at our depth on the running back position. It's solid. I mean, same with Philly, but
I think it would be a little bit closer if y'all still had Wayne Gallman, but
yeah, bro.
With him being gone, I don't know. I think
you guys got the upper hand.
I did close the gap there.
I think Saquon will deliver, but yep, I agree.
He's beating running back depth.
Oh, he's talking about depth.
I'm talking about the depth.
Oh, I thought you said Miles Sanders is better than.
I'm talking depth. Eagles running back depth is probably better than the Giants.
My fault. My fault.
Yeah, we just got too many bodies there that are very, I mean, Jordan Howard used to be 1,000-yard rusher, for what it's worth. Kerryon Johnson was pretty good for Detroit before he tore his meniscus. Kenny Gainwell was a nice underrated pick for us that we stole in the fifth round. Another Memphis product. I mean, we already seen what Tony Pollard means to Dallas, backing up Ezekiel Elliott, and then Washington with Antonio Gibson, and now Kenny Gainwell is the next piece. So. I mean, depth for the running backs. I think the Eagles take that one. So, I guess receiver is next. Receiver. It should be almost. Receiver should be. It's like almost no contest. Obviously, you guys have a lot more veterans in that room. Kenny Galladay comes over. The biggest question for him is if he can stay healthy. He goes over for 5 years, $72 million. Darius Slayton, you got Sterling Shepard, John Ross goes over there. So I mean, it's a mix of decent veteran leadership, but some of these guys have an injury history. So I think it's just a matter of keeping them healthy. And then as opposed to the Eagles, we got a lot of rookies and second-year players trying to make their impact and where they're going to land on the depth chart. So, I mean, so Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, John Hightower. Travis Fulgham emerged last year and having big games, against the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers. He really made in some plays he made a mockery out of Steven Nelson and just mossing people and stuff like that. But no, unfortunately, Castro Big Play Slay is not here anymore. He might have got chased out by Balbi in the chat.
Yes, sir. Slay is out of here. He's out of this building. I kicked that man out because he's talking too much, Lindy. All that man does is talk, and he can't back it up. Literally, when I'm talking,
y'all were just going ham in the live for 15 minutes before Nate showed up, and it wasn't even an actual show. It was like watching people going back and forth on Yo Mama on MTV or some stuff like that.
I mean, I have to. If he's talking crap about me, low key, he a bum. To be honest with you, if he's just talking smack and he can't even back it up. So it's like.
And these kids, these young kids with their beef is hilarious, dude. But
it's fun.
So wide receiver group. You have with the wide receiver group. You have to admit, I was tempted to do that. I should have made it a call in. Well, that would have been that would have been hilarious.
Man, I'll be going ham on Slay. God!
I have Slay's Twitter.
If Slay would have stole the show, I wouldn't have even had to have been host anymore. That's how bad it would have gotten.
Man, Big Play Slay. That channel is my alternate channel. Literally, he's just.
Celebrity deathmatch. That's right.
For real, it's celebrity deathmatch. I hear he's the mod goat, the best moderator in the Philly YouTube community. Right? Am I right? Maybe. He's known for being the moderator. I don't know, but in the Giants community, I'm called the mod goat. So yeah. So he's just a bum. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I think the only way that we could probably lure BPS back in here is if I did turn it into a call in, but I don't.
Yeah, we could do that. After we do those positions, you want to do a call in? I'm down.
Why not?
I gotta go. I gotta go soon.
The GOAT is me. Yes, who's the GOAT? It's me.
You might as well make it a call in right now.
Yeah. Let's find out. We'll open it up and I'll get it pinned. But we still got some stuff to go over. We'll get to it obviously. So I'll get. I guess since Castro suggested the idea and maybe we'll use it as a lure. See if we can get Slay back in here and see what happens. But let me get this pin so that is at the top. So now it's officially converted. But we just got off of talking about the the running back, the depth of running back, and we already know about the receiver difference. Quarterback, not necessarily much of a conversation there. Tight end group. Now that's an interesting one because you guys did add Kyle Rudolph to that mix. Pretty savvy veteran coming over from the Minnesota Vikings, and now
you have depth in the tight end position. I don't know.
Being that Zach Ertz is still a Philadelphia Eagle for the moment, and making that creating that tandem with Dallas Goedert and everything. So I think both teams have decent talent at that skill position, but that's the one thing though. For years now, I think you guys are trying to figure out what Evan Ingram is, because sometimes he plays like a receiver, sometimes he plays like a tight end. Where you guys at on the progress of Evan Ingram as a player, and what he needs to do to be more of a focal point in that Giants offense?
I feel like that since Kyle Rudolph is here, I feel like that the weight is like the weight on his chest is lifted off of him. We don't need him to be that legit tight end because we have Galladay, Saquon's coming back, we have Tony, and also now he's the second tight end. So I feel like that it'll be easier for him. He won't be obviously getting as much reps. So now he's got to prove it that he's that guy. And I feel like he can. I feel like just last year was just a total mental problem because like it all started with the Eagles game with that one drop, and then from there on he just started dropping footballs. So I feel like it's just him thinking about, oh, I gotta catch this football, I gotta catch this football. But I think he's past that now. It's been a long time. I've heard great things from him in training camp. So I feel like that he could turn it around, but he's got to prove it to us first because I think Kyle Rudolph is definitely ahead of him in the
So you feel with adding Kyle Rudolph that he's actually going to be the number one tight end over Evan, or is the emphasis still on finding out if Evan is that guy at the number one spot?
I'll just give my real quick summary on this. It's really, in my opinion, they'll do this. It's Evan's gonna get out of this year. He's gonna be gone.
Ooh. I don't think he's gonna be gone. I think they like him too much.
Balbi, think about this. Why did he give Kyle a 2-year contract?
Huh?
It could have been a rental.
So y'all gave
Kyle Rudolph a 2-year contract. So he'll be here for this year. Yeah, it's just a prove it deal, and they're gonna keep him for those 2 years. Evan's probably gone. Evan's gonna be gone, so because he can't catch it, and he's just a terrible tight end. I have to admit it. He sucks.
Wow.
That's bold, Nate. I feel like I mean, for him at the second tight end position, that's not bad.
He's Balbi. He sucks. Every play I see this guy make, it's a drop. It's basically just like that. Versus the Eagles, example, clutch situation, drops the ball right in his hands.
Wow. Well, speak of being bold, I think the lore worked.
Oh my!
I think it worked. If he was paying attention, so I guess without further ado, it would probably make sense if the stream actually puts him on the left-hand side here below me, so he's on the Eagles side, but. BPS is actually in the house, so
you can change it. You could actually like drag the.
Is going to begin.
You could drag the boxes. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Why do you have this bum on? Get this bum off, bro. He's wearing Giants colors. He's wearing Giants blue with this bum, bro. I swear. Look at you.
I can't even debate.
I don't care if you're tired. You joined the stream. You signed up for this. You signed up for this. I don't care. Stop talking.
I to talk about Evan Ingram and you too.
No, you didn't. I only came on this stream to talk about you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Lindy. I came here.
Yeah, but
this bum had to be in the chat. Stop talking. Mute your mic. Stop talking. Let me talk. It's my turn to 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 talk.
I mean, Lindy, are you?
I don't care.
Or the Giants fan go?
What's that?
Wow. You gonna let this guy go when I've been on your show for like
Nah. You a bum. I'll fold you. I will fold you.
But you can.
I will fold you. Yeah, let me talk.
Blabber between the back and forth. It's just gonna be a bunch of gibberish. So I mean,
even though I gotta go in 10 minutes, but
yeah, I really when I woke up, it was like I had a big cold, and then I just didn't feel like doing anything today, but I might as well just come on here just to talk something.
You got a cold. That's my fault. I didn't know you had a cold. That's my fault.
So it looks like you're just in time to assist me in going through the skill positions between both teams before we get our final predictions done on how the Giants are going to finish their rankings based on their schedule, and then we'll get to the division battles as to whether which team is going to get swept or go even or what the case may be. So I mean. We left off at tight end, and that probably finishes up the offensive conversation. Now, defensive conversation is going to be a little bit different. Considering where the defensive line is for the Eagles, and we got guys like we got our guys and Fletcher Cox, and now Javon Hargrave is starting to come into his own, and then we added defensive line depth on the edges, behind Josh Sweat, who is another guy that's emerging, that's looking pretty damn good up to this point, giving Derek Barnett a run for his money. But at the same time, Derek Barnett, although being quiet in camp, he has looked pretty good as well. So he's not backing down to the challenge. He's showing that, hey, man, I was drafted in the first round. I got to show what I'm worth at this point. I'm on an option year right now. I'd have nothing guaranteed after this season. I don't got a contract to work off of. So now it's the time to put the big boy pants on. So at that edge spot, Ryan Kerrigan comes over from Washington. He adds to that. He adds to that. That nice veteran presence like we did with Chris Long back in 2017. He's very versatile. You can put his hands in the dirt, or you can stand him up, and he can switch between the edge and the linebacker position. There's a lot of versatility there. So I mean, where do you think the pendulum swings in terms of the defensive line between the Eagles and the Giants?
If I'm being honest, I think the Eagles' defensive line is just so much better. As much as I love Leonard Williams, I just feel like just in terms of depth at that position, they let go of what's the guy's name? Dalvin Tomlinson. Thank you. Dalvin Tomlinson. He was very good last year for them. He was one of the more underrated players for them. So the loss of Dalvin Tomlinson very much hurts them. So I think our defensive line is better, just in terms of the starters and the depth that we have at the position.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I feel like that.
Sorry, and I mean, like we just talked about Azeez Ojulari earlier, and I think it's also going to depend on how you guys use him in your defense as well. I mean, he's being started as an outside linebacker, and you guys think that he has that he has that skill set to be able to be used in blitz packages or like an edge rusher or something, kind of like a Micah Parsons. So I think that's also going to be a factor, to which the contrast between both defensive lines. But I mean, when you got Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave leading the pack there, I mean, any offensive line that goes against them, who is the number one target that they're trying to stop? It's Fletch. So what's going to happen when you put that? What's going to happen when you put that partner next to him that's just as capable of disrupting a protection? Javon Hargrave is thriving off of that right now, and he's talked about it in some post practice conferences, that saying that with him losing time last year and it being a very unnatural setting with what these teams are going through, this has been such an improvement for him, and he's just excited. He's just very excited to get the regular season started because he just wants to take snaps with Fletcher Cox, and he says, Fletch just leaves more opportunities for me to get after the quarterback. So, I mean, with a young and up and coming offensive line that the Giants are going through right now, you guys are probably in trouble in terms of stopping a D line like the Eagles and trying to keep Daniel Jones on his feet.
Yeah, same. You guys hear me? And I feel like Hargrave last year, just in terms of how he was put in the position, I think he never had like consistency up until those last couple games. So I think he's going to get better this season, because now that you add Milton Williams and Hui Palutu to the defensive line, I think that causes more depth. And I've heard Ty McGill has been balling out in training camp, so that's another guy to watch for.
I totally agree with you guys on this. Sorry for interrupting you, Slate. I totally agree with you guys on this. Okay. Yeah. So I totally agree with you guys on this. I think the Eagles D-line is better. But I don't want to say totally better, because we have a solid defensive line. Leonard Williams did put up 11.5 sacks last year. I do get that some of the Eagles fans say, he had only 1 year of actual production. But you got to give the man his credit. He did put up 11.5 sacks, and that's very good for a player. But I feel like that your defensive line is better just because of the way that they performed last year. You know, I mean, they had probably didn't they have the most sacks?
No, we had third most sacks. Third
most sacks.
Yeah,
sorry.
third most I think unit. Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 NFL teams ahead of you out of the 30 team, 29 teams.
Yeah.
So
I really feel like, and I'm not gonna be biased when I say this, but I really feel like our depth at the entire defensive line position, I feel like that, like just the depth, the guys behind Graham, Cox, and you know, Derek Barnett and Hargrave. I feel like after that can be a starting core. That can be
I could definitely see that as well, but our defensive line is pretty good, and we're much younger. Or not pretty good, very good actually, I would say, and we're much younger. Dexter Lawrence, he's a young stud, which I think he could actually be very well in this league. Leonard Williams, like I just said, first. This is his. I think is.
I'll give you that. Dexter Lawrence is a pretty good run stuffer. I mean, he's not known as he's not primarily known as a sack type of guy. I mean, that's where that's where Williams comes in. But Dexter Lawrence does usually seem to give us fits sometimes when we're trying to.
And he gets the job done, Lindy.
Yeah,
and that's all we need him to do. I mean, we don't need him to put up 11 sacks, and that's Leonard's job. And with the D-line also, we have Azeez Ojulari at the edge. So we're definitely built. We have Azeez Ojulari and Lorenzo Carter. So we're definitely built for the future on this D-line, because I would say right now your D-line's very good and you have very, very good depth, but we're also pretty good as well, but we're also young. So I feel like it could turn out to be very well, but right now I would definitely have to say Philly.
Yeah, that's fair. So I mean, going off of Jock Talk's comment here to kind of finish the stream up, because you guys don't have much time left. To him, he says the Eagles have the better defensive line, Giants have better linebackers, and the defensive backs are close now.
Oh, I cannot say that.
The DBs being close now is probably due to the addition of Steven Nelson. So I mean, that makes.
You gotta make it.
It is decently close. So I mean, if you look at it in a way of, like, Darius Slay versus James Bradbury, and then you have Steven Nelson versus Logan Ryan. And then the rest of the guys, I mean, you guys don't exactly know what Adoree Jackson is going to be. We don't exactly know what some of our other corners are going to be. So it's like,
keep in mind with Adoree Jackson, though. He was asked to be a number 1 corner in Tennessee, and we're asking him just to be a number 2.
See,
there's not, it's not. I get there's a lot. I get wide receiver 2 is changing now, and actually there's very good wide receiver 2s in this league. But I'm just saying it's easier to guard second wide receivers than first receivers, because James Bradbury is going to lock up his island over there. So I feel like our secondary is obviously better, just because we have depth there, and also we have young great guys, and there's a little dabble in the veterans with Logan Ryan, but It was a great signing for Nelson. It was only a 1-year deal, cheap money. So if he doesn't work out, you guys really didn't lose anything. And if he does work out, what a signing. So
look at your schedule, though. The wide receiver 2s you have to face. First,
I was gonna say that. Like the trying to contrast between both skill position groups is going to come down to the strength of schedule, like who these guys are going to face. Like, I can't.
I totally agree with you guys. It does come down to who we face, but I said that earlier as well, that the wide receiver 2 position is evolving to close to number 1s. But
you face
I can't imagine that you guys can guarantee that James Bradbury is going to lock down every single receiver that he's going to face in 17 weeks of the regular season. It's just not going to happen. It's all going to be matchup based.
He didn't do it. Not every single one.
Who did he not lock up last year? So
not did he do it to every single one? Like literally every single one.
Literally every single one.
Dude, I don't even think of the best.
Probably like he gave up 2 or 3 to be realistic, but
yeah, but look at the
still
this year. Look at the schedule that you have this year. When you face this the CB2s, Adoree Jackson's matchups are.
I totally agree. I just said that
Judy's the one for the Broncos. Who's the 2? You face Judy's the 2.
Judy can't catch. He probably has very good route running, but he can't catch.
Sutton's the 1, right? Washington, McLaurin's the 1, but you have to face Curtis Samuel or De'Ami Brown. Don't sleep on De'Ami Brown. All right, Falcons, I'll give you that one. I don't know who their wide receiver 2 is. Saints, I don't know who the receivers are. The Cowboys, you face them twice a year. You face CeeDee Lamb.
We really don't talk about the Cowboys because they probably have the best wide receiver core in the NFL.
Yeah, and you face the Rams, either Cup or...
And Slay, we locked up CeeDee last year. Darnay Holmes locked him up, right, Nate?
But there's a difference. Was Dak Prescott playing?
No, but when Dak was playing... Did
Lamb have...
When Dak was playing, he was still locking CeeDee up. Keep in mind, though, we played Dak for 3 quarters.
You never know, my guy. You never know what could have happened. You never know what.
I totally agree, Slade. But for the 3 quarters that we played in, I didn't see anything from CeeDee going against Darnay. And
you may see something different this year. You may.
You got Dallas.
I mean, it's making it seem like that you guys really think that our secondary isn't too good, which it.
No, I think your secondary is good. I never said it wasn't. But just based off your schedule, the wide receiver 2s you're facing, it looks challenging.
It is talented, don't get me wrong, but it's better than having Isaac Yiadom going against them. Adoree Jackson's a solid number 2. I mean, that's a fact, really. He's a solid.
How solid is he when he faces good wide receiver 2s? Like really good wide receiver 2s that can play the 1.
He went against really good wide receiver number 1s. I totally agree, Slade. He's going against good wide receiver number 2s, but this is kind of obvious that he could definitely compete with them. It's obvious.
You can, but when you face a guy like Mike Williams it's Adoree Jackson versus Mike Williams, you're just going down the possession. Who's going to get those jump balls consistently? It's going to be Mike Williams at times.
And also, we have safeties to back up our DBs.
You have safeties, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to help your corners because the safety you're gonna do so many things.
I'm just shocked that you have. I'm just shocked you have Dallas's receiving core better than Tampa's.
Wow.
I didn't say that. I said one of the best. I said one of the best.
I thought you said the best. It sounded like you said the best. I'm like, wait a minute, time out. I said one of the best. You got Amari, CeeDee, and Gallup better than Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown.
I said one of the best.
And they also have that Scotty dude that had the
Scotty Miller, yeah.
Yeah, Scotty Miller.
The Bucs have a great wide receiver.
You're gonna forget about the Chiefs.
But the Bucs and the Chiefs are just built different. So
the Chiefs are built different, but who has? I would argue that the Cowboys' receivers are better than the Chiefs because
I totally agree because what's his name?
Yeah, after Hill and Travis Kelce, they have Mecole Hardman who's solid, but here and there he drops the ball. Who do the Cowboys have? They have Amari Cooper, who is overrated to me. They have
he is overrated.
They have Lamb, who can just dominate at any given moment. And you also have Michael Gallup, one of the most underrated and most underappreciated receivers in this league. How are you going to stop that? I
said one of the best, Slay.
Yeah.
I agree, but I mean, you are wearing Giants blue every time I talk to you, so.
I really need to
get a tough one. I mean, that's a
I really need to get
tough one for me too.
I need to get some
tough one for me too. Kansas City still got a nice receiving core. I mean,
they got a nice one. I like Dallas's one better, to be honest.
Even if you want to call Travis Kelce a receiver, I mean, he's still a tight end, but you got what is it? Tyreek, Sammy Watkins.
No, Watkins went to the Ravens. He went to the Ravens.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then,
I would give it to Dallas because they also have Cedric Wilson, who's underrated too. I like Cedric Wilson. He's their 4th receiver. Yeah,
they nice over there, Dallas.
Yeah, he can be. Lindy. He can be a wide receiver too for us if he ever had the chance.
Oh, well, probably.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost close to the 2-hour mark, fellas.
Lindy, this was so fun. I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Lindy, anytime you want to collab again, man, I'm always down. Maybe this time, me and you or Hunter, it doesn't matter. But that was fun, man. I'm always down. Yeah.
Well, I gotta get at you about your Lakers eventually. Trying to figure out what the hell is going on over there, because it sounds like they're starting a retirement home business or something.
Oh my God,
Lindy, I totally agree. But low key, they cooking over there. They
are. Yeah, they are. I'll give them that.
You guys not Melo, man. Melo's had like the worst experience ever, bro.
It's like, can you agree with this? Like, can you agree with this with me? LeBron for GM of the year.
LeBron.
Yeah, GM back at it.
That I don't know, man. That's good. I mean, that's going to be a tough one. You have to imagine players are going to come back healthy, and with the amount of players that LeBron has around him, I would have to imagine that Lakers fans would probably want Anthony Davis to have a better year over LeBron. And then, you add Russell Westbrook into the mix, and a bunch of veterans are going back there, and Trevor, Malik Monk goes, Dwight Howard, and
Wayne Ellington.
There's a lot of bodies right now that the Lakers are throwing at teams for one, and you gave Anthony Davis all that money to be, to eventually merge and transition into that primary star of the Lakers. When LeBron gets up there in age, he's going to be 37. You want to progressively take the workload off of him so he's more pass first instead of score first. So, I mean, LeBron for MVP, I don't know. I mean, Giannis is going to be coming off of a high from winning the title.
LeBron for GM of the year, though.
No, it's Rob Pelinka, bro. What do you mean? Rob Pelinka.
There's going to be so many MVP candidates. There's going to be a lot. I can only imagine my boy Luka is going to be in that conversation again too. So
I love Luka Doncic, but I think the Miami Heat could do something this year. You never know.
I really think they're going to be
for real. Jock talk. They're gonna. I've heard talk they're going to bring in Santa. So
but in all honesty, though, I love the pickup for the Mavericks.
So we don't continue to go off topic here, fellas. And I think Balbi and Nate don't got much time left. So we'll close this out with record predictions for both teams, and then we'll go over the NFC East matchup that we have amongst each other. As it is twice a year, every year.
Yeah, sir.
Now, obviously, this is a question that's still up in the air, I guess, because we don't know how these teams are going to look after the 3 roster cuts that each franchise goes through. So I mean, you got your first cuts, and then the second cut is a week after the first one, and then the third one is a little over a week after the second one. So, I mean, these teams are going to look completely different. But going into the year, based off of strength of schedule, how the Giants are looking right now, and the way the NFC East is shaping up. I mean, realistically, biased aside, how are the Giants going to look in a 17-game season going into 2021?
I'm going to say 9 to 10.
No, I'm saying 9 to 11. 9 to 12, maybe. I'll go up there with 12.
So is that the ceiling, or is that
Lindy, 12 is the absolute season if Daniel Jones becomes a top 10 quarterback. That's all I'm gonna say. No. I'm saying if he does become one.
If he does.
Honestly, they could go 10 wins.
Okay.
10 wins is probably 10 wins is in my opinion is going to happen, because there's a lot of easy games we could win, but there's also games that we're going to struggle with.
I really think they're in that mark between 8 to 10 wins, if I'm being honest. That's good, kid. That's good.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at right now for Philly. I mean, I'm still sticking with my prediction. It's been up for months now. I'm not going to change it. See, I mean, I just don't want.
Well,
I can't be in the group of Eagles fans that are going to want expectations exceeded in a means of setting the bar so high that we're going to end up being disappointed in the end when it's not reached. So since the beginning, I've put my over and under for the team at 8 games. So best case scenario would be about 7-10. Or did I say best case scenario?
No, you just said best case scenario.
No. Worst case scenario, 7-10. Best case scenario, 10-7 or 9-8. I think it's going to fluctuate between the two of those. And now, like, and I think we talked about this backstage before we went on, but something like that. I remember talking about it to somebody. But when you initially hear about a record under 500, it's like, oh well, that team had a terrible year, et cetera, et cetera. No, what we're trying to get at here is even if a record under 500 is shown by a team, if you add context to it and be like, well, how did they look? How did the team look in these losses?
Lindy, we went 6-10 and we were in every single game, and our team showed heart last year. So, it's okay to have a losing record as long as you show heart and there's improvement with the team. Then again, you guys did go 4-12 last season. So even if you guys win 7 games, I'm not saying that will happen, but if it happens, it's an improvement from last year.
Well, it's going to happen either way. We're going to win more than 4 games, obviously. I mean,
No, yeah, I'm just saying an example. That's all.
Yeah, I got
you. Balbi, here's the thing for your Giants. You say you're going 10 and your ceiling is 12, 10, 8, 9, 10. The last time you did that was in 2015, correct? You won about 11 games.
2016.
The last 4 years, you've won 18 games. What makes you think you're all of a sudden the best team in the division now?
Well, Slay, you started war.
I'm just
no. You Slay, you respectively started war. Started war.
No,
Slay, let me talk, Slay.
I'm trying to ask you a question.
I know. I agree. It's a great question. Yeah. But we have a very good defense, I got to say. We've won a lot of our games because of our defense last year. So now we've upgraded our offense. We got weapons. We got Saquon back. And I feel like this should make Daniel Jones better because of the weapons that we have. And in our offense,
I'm older than you.
I'm telling you this right now. If everything works out, 10 wins.
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
I don't think you're going to be better
because your boy AK thinks you guys are going 12 wins. So
I don't think you're better than Dallas. Like Dallas. Can I explain?
Can I say something?
Dallas
1-3 with Dak.
Yeah.
And they blew the lead with the Falcons. And also they have a shitty defense.
Balbi. Dallas improved on the defense, correct? If they improved
Mike Nolan was the reason the Cowboys' defense was terrible last year. Let's just put that out there.
Exactly.
That was Mike Nolan.
Yeah, that was
the defense is probably the worst.
But now they improved. And who's their defensive coordinator?
Dan Quinn.
The same guy that had that defense in 2014 with the Seahawks, the Legion of Boom. I'm not gonna give it all. I'm not gonna give it all to Dan Quinn because that's a good team. Look at what he did in 2008 with the Bills. He did good with that defense, like really good.
What did he do in
good with defense?
Right, I totally agree. He's a great coach, but the players are somewhat part of that. Like you could a bunch of bad guys. I mean, their secondary is absolutely
atrocious.
It's bad. I like Micah Parsons.
Don't tell Cowboys fans that.
I mean, Lindy, let's get this straight. All of us hate Cowboys fans.
But we also hate Giants too.
Well,
I'm a cool Giants fan, Slay, but just sometimes you could just be a bum sometimes. That's all I got.
Lindy, you don't know how much I want to beat this team, bro. I want to destroy them on live television where the entire
I don't know. I can't wait to just fold you, Slay. I don't care about this Eagles-Giants rivalry. I just want to fold you. That's it.
Well, let's go. What's up, boys?
Oh, you want to go? You want to go, Slay? You really want to go? Get some helmet and get some pads on. I will actually fold you. Stop playing, dog.
Yeah. I don't play football anymore. But when I did, I was pretty good. But I don't play anymore. I'm more of a basketball.
So it was like, I was like a D1.
I was in basketball as well.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Lindy, I used to be good at football, but when my knees got when I started to get older, I was athletic back then, but I'm not as athletic right now because my knees.
Starting to get older. You making yourself sound like you're 30.
Get on the field, get some helmet and some pads on. Come on now.
I stay in the house too much. That's the exact reason why.
Better go outside, Slay.
Come on, man! You're making yourself seem like you're older. I'm twice your age. Come on.
Slay, I'm older than you, my guy. Slay, I'm older than you.
Lindy, I still think I'm older than you, but that's just me.
Slay, I'm older than you, and I do. My day looks like 4 hours of football and 3 hours of basketball. So, and I'm older than you. I have older knees than you, actually.
There's not a big difference between 15 and 14, bro.
Well, you make it seem like I'm 9 years old, so.
Because you are. You can't tell me.
Slay, look at you. Slay, look at yourself, Slay. You also look 9 years old as well. Turn on that camera again. Turn back on. You look 9 as well.
At least I look at my age.
Well, at least I can hold you when you go on the field.
He's not gonna do anything.
I'm not gonna do anything.
This little kid.
Oh my god.
You want to go? You
want to Slay?
You want to go on the court, bro?
Oh, like break your ankles. I'll put a green in your face. Nate knows. I'll wake up. Nate knows. I'll get shots up every day.
That's cap, bro. You are.
Nate knows. Nate knows. Nate, am I wrong?
You suck.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You will you do something on the court, bro? Do you do something on the court?
Hold on. Let's take a break, y'all. I mean, take a break, y'all. I'll just put this out here. I could be y'all's basketball coach. So I'll just say that I could be y'all's basketball coach. That's how long I've been playing.
I bet you Lindy's like very good at basketball.
He is.
I've been playing since I was 6, man. So I mean
I started playing since I was 11. So I was a little late.
4 years ago. You just started playing. I started playing when I was 5 years old.
And I'll still beat you, Slay. And I'm still green in your face. I don't want to hear it.
How tall are you, bro? How tall?
Hey, what happened?
5'9".
I just want to know this.
What happened to y'all having only 10 minutes left? As soon as
no, I'm kidding. I'm like 5'3" though, but I'll still green in your face. I'm 5'3".
Oh man. Well, it looks like it was a good thing that I opened up the lines, man.
I can't wait to fold you. Hard hitting safety. Not playing.
Oh man.
I'm really a receiver though, but I'll still fold you.
Man, I get so. I mean, it looks like we had a good stream. I think it went better. Than we thought.
It went for 2 hours actually. I was a good stream.
Lindy, this was a great stream until Slay got on.
God.
Oh man.
Bro, everywhere I go, people love me. I'm like,
if I don't end it now, it's not ever gonna end because you two are going to you two are gonna go all night.
We can just debate in JDW's Discord, so it's good.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got.
All right, y'all. I think we covered the.
But I gotta actually do something on him.
I think we covered the Eagles schedule recon here. We got some information out of some New York football Giants content creators on how well they think their team is doing so far outside outside of some beat downs at training camp and players retiring, they're still overall confident in their squad that they're going to be one of the leaders of the NFC East. The Eagles, Washington football team, and Cowboys will have something to say about that. Obviously for years it's been a bloodbath in the division, and at the end of the day, I think it's fair to say all of us don't want to be called the NFC least anymore.
And also the whole NFC East got better.
I mean, yeah, it's arguable. It's arguable. Yeah. So, I mean, with that said, we will get out of here. We hit the 2-hour mark, which I don't think I don't think we had the idea of going that long, but it is what it is. We had fun. We kicked ass. It finally happened to be able to get Balbi and Nate Talk Sports on the channel at the same time. They're good friends with each other, and so I mean, at least I had help for the last 30 minutes. For what it's worth, I didn't feel it wasn't a handicap match anymore. So, Balbi, Nate, y'all let us know where your channels are at. You two do a podcast together, so tell us about it.
Nate, you could speak on that if you want.
All right, got it. So the podcast is every Wednesday. We're trying to get I think the official time now is probably at 7 because it's basically perfect for both of us. But really, it's every Wednesday, and we usually have 5 minutes just to brief everything up. Then we have the people call in. Slay's been on it, so it's been really cool and talking to different fans, like Eagles fans, sometimes Washington fans. It's tons of different people. We just have talks about football, topics of basketball. Sometimes
we talk about all sports. We talk about Yankees. We talk about we dabbled into some USA basketball as well. For the past 2
years.
Yeah,
sometimes Nate he talks about UFC, so that's fun.
Yeah, we talk about everything over there. But you can find me at Balbi Talks Giants. I think next Talking Sports podcast is on Nate's channel.
Yeah, it's my channel.
Yep, which is Wednesday. But yeah, it's a really cool vibe there. We talk about all sports, all teams. But yeah, we get fans from all over the place that are there. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh, good deal. I mean, it's good to hear that you guys talk a bunch of different sports on the channel. So, if any NBA topics happen to come about, I gotta get some New York Knicks talk in there with Nate, and then see where the Miami Heat are. Because, like I said, the Knicks gave us Reggie Bullock, so we gotta get some conversation in there. Gotta know a little bit about Reggie outside of the tape that I've watched, and his statistics and everything. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy we got him. But and then BPS coming on while he's got a cold. Supposedly, shout out to you, man. He's already over 300 subscribers, which is crazy, and I'm
he's at 344 now. Slay's popping off.
We were just both in the hunt for 200, and now I'm starting to fall behind. So it's all in fun at the end of the day. But BPS got his own channel for Eagles Talk and everything, and go check him out as well. And that's
don't subscribe to me. Subscribe to Lindy. Not me. Subscribe to me. Get him to 200 before I even get close to anywhere.
Man, I'll tell you what. I've been stuck in the 180s and 190s for a while now. So I mean, outside of my Eagles and Mavericks content, I do a little bit of gaming every now and then. So
I love those videos.
Yeah, I keep those. I keep that kind of stuff going, man. But yeah, appreciate y'all for coming out here. Shout out for the chat as well. There's still 3 people in to catch the conclusion of the Eagles schedule recon with the New York Football Giants. And I'll just throw it out here. We'll probably go even with them in the in the division series. We'll probably go even. Let's just be let's be realistic about that.
Agree.
So it's probably gonna go 1-1, but there is a chance that either team is going to get swept. We'll see. No, I don't see the Giants sweeping one.
If I'm being honest, it's probably gonna be the Giants.
It'll go even.
Yeah, they have the higher chance, so I'll be honest.
I agree. It could very well end up in a split, but if there is a chance of it's a sweep, I would have to say New York would sweep them.
I mean, you never know.
I honestly think it just would be a split. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, the hub doesn't think that, so if you can make them think otherwise, then we're cool.
I'm just gonna stay to myself. Let them think their opinion. I'm not trying to create no friction over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Well, y'all. Yeah. I guess 2 hours in. I guess that'll do it. Thank you to everybody that came to hang out on my channel, catch these guys out a little more. NFC East rivalry going on Eagles schedule Recon. The only team that leaves left for me to cover in the NFC East is the Dallas Cowboys. So I got to get a Cowboys content creator on here, do some recon on them, see where Dallas is at. So we'll find out what's going to happen there. Be sure to tune in for the rest of Eagles schedule recon, as I thank Balbi and Nate Talks Sports for representing the New York Football Giants and Big Play Slim. But for Lindy and company, we're going to get out of here. Fly Eagles, Fly Bleed Green. MFFL's Go Mavs. Luca getting that extension soon. Yeah. My boy Luca. Take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time and see you soon.